Hello everyone, welcome. My name is Jason. I'm one of the owners here at the Hill Gardens here in Fort Fairfield, Maine. And today this is our seed starting room. It's an 8 by 12 bedroom that we weren't using, that we converted into our grow lights for our seedlings for the 3 months that we grow them indoors before they go outside. And what I want to show you today is these are our onions that we started this year. These are a pelleted onion seed, and you can see the little pellet on this little guy right here that really didn't make it. Okay, we use pelleted onion seeds because they're a lot easier to handle. To plant just one or two in a cell, and we planted in these 6-packs. Okay, and a majority of them sprouted, and you can either prick these out and make them individuals, or you can plant them multi-sown like this, couple in a cell. You'll get medium-sized onions doing the multi-sown versus individual, or you'll get much larger onions. These here are kind of floppy, and if you can look, we're eventually going to be putting a fan in here to help move the airflow and get these to strengthen up some. They're really kind of on the light side right now because we haven't fertilized yet. Now that they're about this long, I'm gonna show you a trick on how to get them to force some more growth on them, and then after the soil dries out some, it's still quite wet right now because we just watered this weekend. Probably the end of this week, I'm going to fertilize these with some bottom watering, where you just put some water down in here, about an inch of water and fertilizer down in the bottom of the tray, and they will take up their nutrients. We're going to water them the same day every week if they need watering, to get some growth on them and get them good. But I'm going to show you a trick right now. So let me put these down, and I am going to have you just come down here with me and take a look at how we're gonna get them to put on some growth really quick. All right, hold on a second. Okay, so we're gonna do like a lot of people do with their peppers. Some people will take their peppers and cut the tops off when they get their at least second, preferably third set of true leaves on them. Onions don't put out true leaves, okay? So all you have to do is take a pair of micro pruners or your snips, or if you have any other small pruners you can use. Some people use scissors, some people use a knife, but all you're going to do is you're going to go just up about 1.5 to 2 inches up, and you're just going to trim them, okay? And this is going to force some growth, because your onions are going to say, well, the plants are going to say, because they're not onions yet because they haven't bulbed out, I need to put on some growth to get bigger because something has happened and I don't have a whole lot of growth. Now these you can actually chop them up and put them in your food if you want. Okay, and we just go along about 2 inches up. And some people are going to say this hurts them. It does absolutely nothing wrong to them. It just forces them to get stronger. And if you had a lot of trays of this would take some time. It'd be rather tedious. But we don't have a whole lot of trays, because most we're going to direct seed in the garden next month. And here we go. This isn't going to hurt them one bit. Like I said, it's just going to force them to grow, put out some side growth, get a little stockier. And I wouldn't do this more than twice if you're going to do it. Once should be enough, because here it is. Today is April 1st. And no, this is not an April Fool's gag about pruning your onions indoors. We are going to be putting these out in May, probably around the second week of May, looking at the extended forecast. We're not looking at too many frosts in May. So if we do put these out prior, we're going to cover the beds with our metal hoops, put some frost cloth on, even though these can handle a frost, depends on how big these are. Onions are actually a cold weather crop. Okay. They can handle quite a bit of cold. They're actually a biennial, so every other year they'll put out seed. So the first year you can get an onion off it. The second year you get seeds. So if you ever want to save seed from your onions, leave them in the ground over winter. In the spring, when they come back up, they'll start putting on growth. And that year you'll get your seed from it for next year. And the ones that you planted that year to be eaten, leave a couple in the ground. One onion will actually put out probably 100 seeds, maybe 200. So you leave a couple in and you'll have more than enough for onion seeds the following year. Now, I didn't want to spend time pricking these out. That's why I planted these as sparse as I did. I have actually planted before in a small bread baking dish, like a personal loaf bread baking dish. One of the metal pans. I wish I had one handy. I don't. You can also do it in, say, a 4 or 5 inch pot. You can even do it in a 3-inch pot. You can take one of the little pots and just plant a bunch of onion seeds in there. And there we go. Just take them apart and plant those in the spring if you wanted to. I don't like that method. I don't think that it gives the seedlings much room to grow. So if you have any tips, this is where the pellet was hanging on, and it got kind of dried out and whatnot from the pellet. So we tend to trim those off. We don't want to leave them because we don't want dry tips. And some people say that this is a little harsh to do and it's a little uncalled for, but you have to ask yourself, do you want bigger onions or do you want to be nice? Because we're actually cutting these about in half. These we planted 4 weeks ago, and this is 4 weeks of growth. I mean, you can see if I put my hand up here, we've got probably 5 inches of growth in 4 weeks from them sprouting. And once we start fertilizing these, they are going to grow really, really fast. So these won't go out for another 6 weeks, and then they'll have a week of hardening off under some frost cloth in the garden beds in their tray. We have a tray that leaks that we actually use to put our seedlings outdoors. This way when it rains, they don't get waterlogged and drowned. And these will go sit in those for a week under frost cloth out in the sun to get acclimated to being outdoors. Because right now they're in a controlled environment. Temperature here fluctuates because there's no heat in this room, between 62 and 70 degrees on a regular basis. Just a few more here to trim up. You can see how quick I'm doing this. It's actually not rocket science, so you don't have to. Some of these have left a little bit longer than what I like. So I'm going to trim them back just a hair more. And some people will say you can leave these right here in the piece you cut off will break down. If you want to mold your plants and kill them, then why even plant them? When you leave organic matter on the soil and it breaks down, it's going to produce mold and fungus, and you'll get what's called dampening off, and you'll kill your plants. And if I wanted to kill plants, I just wouldn't garden. But I've got about 70 onions in here. I think there's only one cell that didn't have any come up, and that's this one here. So I had 31 cells come up. Most of them have 2 seeds in them that came up. This one here didn't make it. So we're looking at least a 95% success rate with our onions coming up, our seeds. So I really don't want to ruin, 70 seeds or 70 onions, because I love onions. So there we go. And we're just going to run our hand over them. Movement is actually going to help strengthen them. So as soon as we start fertilizing, we're going to put a fan in here. And when the daytime temperatures start getting warmer outside, we're going to open the window. These only get 8 hours of sunlight because onions, when they hit 12 hours, will want to start bulbing out when they get 12 to 16 hours, depends on the variety of onion. And we don't want them to bulb when they're this small. We want them to get probably that big around, as big around as my thumb at the base down here before they bulb out. And like I said, we could very easily take a pot like this, fill it full to the top, sprinkle onion seeds all on the top, put a little bit of soil over it, and within 10 days, this thing is going to be just covered. It's going to look like a piece of grass. And we could have started in here, this little small 36 square inches of landscape. And if you had a south-facing window, you put this in the window. It'll get all the sun it needs. You fertilize it. It's got holes for bottom watering. Okay? And you could grow a couple hundred in this way and then just pull them, take this out, pull them apart, and then plant the individual ones in the soil. I've never had good luck doing that. I have seen people do it, and they get lucky with it. So that's always an option. But there we go. Our onions are trimmed. They're only a couple of inches tall, no more than 3 inches, closer to 2. And you can see they're a lot stockier now. They're not as floppy. And then as we start fertilizing, these are going to get nice and big. This is actually going to go into the compost bucket outside. I actually have one in here that's old potting soil. I may just take and drop it in there, but I don't want it breaking down in here. So it will go out in the compost so we can get our compost started for the season. We got several buckets that have to go out. We have nicer weather coming in next week in the 50s. So we're going to go outside next week. Probably Friday. Yeah, I think Friday the 12th, when it gets warm out in the afternoon after lunch, I'm going to take you outside with me. We're going to do some compost. We'll probably be doing that live. So there you go. I hope you have your onions started. If not, get them started now. I'll give you, if you're in our type area where your first frost date, which if you haven't seen that video, take a look at it. I'll put a link down below on how to figure out your last frost date, and you can take and start your seeds now. Figure out when you need them. Some people are lucky, they're able to plant onions year round. But if you can't and you're like us and you have to go with the weather, then get your onions started now. And if you like onions, get them pruned, start fertilizing them after they're about a month old, and you'll start having some nice plump onions to harvest out of the garden, cure off. So I thank you for your time. Remember to keep your food spicy, your thumb green, and we will talk to you later. Have a great day.